I am really happy to have Dawson, Mercer, Justin, Barron, and Jordan Spence, three players from the queue that were from Team Canada in the World Junior. Thank you for doing this, guys. Let's start. Let's start over maybe with Dawson up there. Dawson, how does it feel a couple days after the tournament hand? How do you how t- how do you feel?
Yeah, well, after obviously everyone leaving, going their separate ways, it obviously wasn't the outcome we wanted, as everyone could tell and realize. So that feeling obviously wasn't the best. But right now, just getting back here and realizing that it was such a special and unique opportunity to play for Canada at this World Juniors during the bubble time and play with a lot of new teammates and build relationships. So it was overall like a good experience, but just not the outcome we wanted at the end of the day.
Justin, how about you?
Yeah, same thing. Especially the last few days it went by kind of in a flash, and I think getting back here now and being able to reflect on it a bit. I'm super grateful to have had the opportunity to go out there, and yeah, it was an experience of a lifetime, and obviously it didn't end the way we wanted to, but nonetheless proud of our team, and we gave it all we had. So.
And let's complete with Jordan. How does it feel a couple days after the last game?
Yeah, well, obviously, growing up as a kid, you have a dream of playing at the World Juniors, and obviously being there and kind of reflecting after the tournament, like what Merce and JB said. It's such an honor to wear that jersey and also to be at that tournament. So, I think we're really happy, but disappointed in a different way, just with the outcome that we had in the finals. But I think we're proud and we're happy that we were there and kind of had a good time with the guys.
Before we go to the last game in the final and stuff, I want to come back a bit on the tournament. Let's start with maybe Justin. How did it feel when you actually knew that you made the team? What was the reaction, and maybe who did you call first?
Yeah, it was really exciting. They actually did it in a pretty cool way. So the morning they announced the roster, the coaches came to your room and they had your parents or one of your parents on FaceTime. So it was my dad. So he was actually the one that broke the news to me. So yeah, it was an exciting feeling to get that news that you made the team, and yeah, kind of special to share that moment with my dad as well.
We all know that you're a good defenseman in this league. You're a first-round draft in the NHL, but you have been injured a lot, leading to the last 2 years. Let's say it like this. So, were you a bit more nervous going into the camp because of those last injuries and the fact that you played maybe less than other players?
No, not at all. Honestly, I mean, I had the blood clot there last year. I missed the 3 months. I got that fixed early December or early September, and yeah, no, I wasn't nervous at all. It was more excitement, and I was feeling really good about my body, and I was able to get 8 games in with the Mooseheads here in Halifax before going to the camp. So yeah, no, that didn't even really cross my mind.
How about you, Jordan? You were the defenseman of the year last year in the league. How did you react when you actually knew that you made Team Canada?
Yeah, just what Justin said. The coaches knocked on each other, like all the guys' room, and they knocked on my door, and they just put the phone right in my face and said, and there was my family right there. It was my dad, my mom, and my sister. And at first I was just confused because they weren't saying anything, but after they said that I made the team, so it was pretty cool feeling. And obviously, just all the sacrifices and everything that my parents and my family made, and now they're telling me the news that I made World Juniors. It was a surreal moment, and I'll never forget that moment as well.
And obviously for you, Dawson, you you knew the feeling because you made the team last year, but how was it to do it a second time?
Yeah, it was obviously really special, like you said, to get to play in the World Juniors 2 years in a row, like I said, it was two different experiences. Last year, full rink, full of fans, the normal World Juniors, and then this year, a completely different circumstance in the bubble, and it was a long journey for us, spending all that time in Red Deer and Edmonton. It was so exciting to have that opportunity again when I found out the news and get started with the team and start right from the get-go when we arrived in Edmonton. So it was pretty special, obviously, to get that opportunity, and grateful to play in two World Juniors, like I said, and it's for sure going to be something that we're going to remember for the rest of our lives, and we're making our dreams come true. So it was an unbelievable special moment to spend with those guys.
And this year was a bit different because of the pandemic and everything. So you guys lived the tournament a bit differently than what you used to. I think you guys were alone in your hotel room, right? Instead of being with a teammate. Maybe Jordan, how was it to be alone in the hotel room? Was it? Did it feel a bit more lonely than usual?
To be honest, I think the boys can agree that just having the room by yourself is kind of it's pretty good, to be honest. When we're in Edmonton, we'll have a lounge, players lounge. So if we wanted to hang out with the guys, we would go there, and there was a ping pong table there, there was a PS5 and everything. So the only time that we would go back to the hotel room was to just relax and kind of have your own time to just rest your mind and everything. So I think for me personally, I liked it, and I'm pretty sure the Justin and Mercer liked it as well.
Do you agree, guys? Dawson, would you say that finally it was better to have your room alone?
Yeah, like Spenny said, I think it was good, obviously, to give a bit of relaxation time and time to yourself. Like when you have a roommate, sometimes obviously it's good to be chatting to him and all the time, but you're on your own schedule, so you can wake up when you want. Have your own schedule planned. Like if you like to get prepared for games a different way, and like Spenny said, when you want to hang out with the guys, we could do it within the certain protocols, like at the lounge and at the ring time. So it was a long process when we got to spend as much time we wanted with the guys, basically through the 50 days. So having your room was kind of just a bit of relaxation time, and basically kind of do what you wanted. If you want to talk to your families or friends back home, it was a lot of lenient time for us, so it was good.
Oh wow, that's great. I thought you guys would have said that you like it with teammates, but it's cool to know that it feels great to be alone and you don't have like a teammate that snores right next to you. Let's talk a bit about hockey, guys. Maybe I'll start with Justin. Is there a player that have impressed you during the tournament? Maybe from Team Canada, but maybe from another team player that have impressed you?
I think our goalie, Devin Levi, I think he was a little bit of a surprise for a lot of people. And that was my first time ever getting to know him or see him play. And he had a great camp in Red Deer, and then obviously solidified himself as the starting goalie for our team. And he played a hell of a tournament. He was a huge part of our team. And it was pretty cool to see, a guy like that really come up and blossom and turn into the starting goalie for Canada's World Junior team.
Jordan and Dawson, do you agree? Do you want to put another name out there?
For me, I was gonna say Devin Levi as well, just because I remember last year, couple guys from the island that made the World Junior A tournament, and they're on the team with Devin. So when I was watching them, I remember watching Devin, and he got the MVP of that tournament, I think, and he looked really good. And obviously, not being in the virtual summer showcase and showing up at the selection camp and just showcasing himself, and at the tournament he showcased really well there. So he was the one that impressed me the most in that tournament.
Dawson, I guess you were impressed too with Devin Levi. Maybe maybe do you have another player that have impressed you in that tournament?
I was on with Dev also. So we, I think having all three of us saying him, it showed a lot of just like where he came from and the path he took to where how he made it to the World Junior. So it was pretty special for him, and I think he just consistently kept on getting better during the camp and then the tournament, and he really, excelled at his role of, the number one goalkeeper, and I think he did an unbelievable job during the full tournament for us, and also a great teammate. So I got to go with him also.
Don't want to put you on the spot, guys, but do you see him play in the NHL in the future?
I think so.
Yeah, Jordan.
Yeah, I could see it. He's got a great work ethic. You can see how well he takes care of his body and loves what he does, and he was a great teammate, and I could definitely see it someday.
Yeah, I think he impressed a lot of people, especially with the run that he had, and he was on a record tournament. I mean, he'll go in history with. He'll go down in history as one of the best goaltender in the history of the tournament. How was André Tourigny? Maybe Dawson, how was it? You knew the coach last year, and how was it with André Tourigny this year?
Yeah, so obviously knowing being part of the team last year and him being there as an assistant coach, we already had that relationship built and getting to know him, and pretty much, as him as the head coach this year, it was really nice just having a familiar face around the rink right away, and it was and just knowing his style of play and personality. So it was really great to have that connection right off the start, and he likes to make have fun, enjoy with the guys, and make some jokes every once in a while. So he likes to be interactive with us on the ice also, and I think he did a lot to help us out during this tournament. So, like I said, it just wasn't the outcome we wanted, but Bear was obviously a great coach for us, and a lot of respect.
Justin, how did you like playing for Andre?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I had him at the Ivan Lincoln tournament as well there 2 years ago. So I knew him a little bit, and I got to work with him before. But I know he's obviously a tremendous coach. Has a ton of experience, and you can really see how much he cares for all his players. And I think that's why he's such a good coach. He cares for his players, and the players are really able to buy into his philosophies and his systems and that kind of thing. And it was a pleasure working with him.
I have a weird question for you guys. Maybe Jordan, you can step in on it. Obviously, the other player from the team didn't play as much as you did, guys. So did you feel them a bit rusty at the beginning of the training camp and maybe the beginning of the tournament, or did you feel like they played it just as much as you guys, the players from the other leagues?
Yeah, well, obviously, during the selection camp with the tryouts, we kind of had a little bit of an advantage just because we were playing and we had practices every day and we had games on the weekend. So that was a little bit of an advantage for us. But, with the other guys, I think with the practices that we had and the games and the inter-squad games that we had during the selection camp, it really got them ready for the tournament and even in the exhibition game against Russia. So to be honest, I don't think, obviously they were rusty a little bit during the selection camp, but as the camp went on and as the tournament went on, and you could really see the improvement that the boys made from the beginning to the end.
Justin, maybe a question for you. You played the Memorial Cup and you played the World Junior, maybe the two biggest events in junior hockey. How would you compare those two events?
I think they're both, special events in their own way. I think with the World Juniors this year, with there being no crowd and being in a bubble, it was quite a bit different than the Memorial Cup. I think the Memorial Cup, having it here in Halifax, in my hometown, it was pretty cool to have a lot of family and friends around, and then just the atmosphere of the city and then the games. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, a great experience, and the World Juniors was the same way in the sense that it was really special and kind of a different vibe, obviously with no fans. But yeah, they did a great job, making it as good as they could, and yeah, it was nonetheless a really special experience as well.
And I don't want to bring back bad memories for you, but you have been on the losing side twice in those big events. Would you say that there's one defeat that hurt most, or both were really, really bad, I guess?
Um, yeah, I don't know. They were both a little bit different, but yeah, no, they both sucked.
Yeah, I guess it is. Um, Dawson, the fact that you won last year, how did you live? How did you live that defeat in final this year, knowing what it is to win at this stage?
Yeah, it's complete opposite. It's you can flip it right over, and it's a completely different picture. So last year, when you get to have that gold medal and celebrate with your teammates, and sing your national anthem, like it's an unbelievable feeling, and it was a dream come true. And this year, obviously having that a different result and being on the losing end of it, it was pretty heartbreaking, and it was pretty tough to describe, really, just the feeling that we had there. You never, it was all in like the 1 day circumstance. We went on a 50-day improving, keeping on going, did really great, and then the last game, we just couldn't pull through, and it obviously was a really bad feeling. There's not much I can say, really. Like I said, it's two different sides of a picture that you want to be on the other side for sure, like last year.
Would you say, Dawson, that it was the hardest defeat in your career so far?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it was. That's the dream of all of ours, to play in the World Juniors and win the championship, and not to be able to do that this year was, yeah, that would be the biggest defeat for sure.
Jordan, how was the general experience for you? Because you didn't play as much as the other guys, and you are an important player in your team, and you play a lot. You were defenseman of the year. So how was it to play a lot to play a lot less for you?
Obviously it was different. I never experienced being scratched before, but even before the tournaments, like there was a lot of people that went in our Zoom meetings talking about just knowing your role and kind of accepting the role and being positive. So for me, I just when the coach told me that I was the eighth defenseman, I obviously I was disappointed at first, but for me, I just want to take that as a positive, and every morning I wanted to hang around with the guys and being positive around the guys. And there was 2 games that I got to play. So for me, I just wanted to be ready for those games, and just being positive and being ready mentally is probably the biggest thing that you can do for this kind of tournament.
And Justin and Dawson, maybe Dawson, how was Jordan as a teammate?
Oh, unbelievable teammate. This guy was always with a smile on his face around the guys. He would do anything he could to help us out, if in any way on the ice or off the ice, or whenever he was there for you when you needed him. Just he was always putting a smile on his face. Like you said, you wouldn't even be able to tell that he wasn't playing the games because he had a smile on his face all the time. He was so happy to be there, and like you said, with the role acceptance, I was in a role last year that I didn't have as much minutes as this year, and it's all about being grateful to be there during the opportunity, and turning it into a positive. When you realize that you're playing on the World Junior team and you're within the best players all around Canada playing for your country, it's a great honor just to be there. And I think you can't ask for anything more from him. He was a great teammate, just like all the other guys were too.
Justin, anything you want to add?
Yeah, no, I think Merce hit it spot on, Spenny. He was a blast to be around all the time. Brings a ton of energy, and yeah, it's grateful to have shared that experience with him and all the other guys, and yeah, great ping pong player as well.
And Jordan, you did score a goal. How was the feeling?
Yeah, it was amazing. Just like I said, that was my first game. So for me, I just wanted to be ready, and um, I think Merce was on that line and on that shift. So there was just a loose puck there, and I scored, and there was a lot of emotions going on, just from being scratched the last game and coming into the game and scoring the first shift. I'll never forget that moment, and it was an amazing experience just being with everyone, but except just with Barron, Mercer, and Pelletier, just because we're from the QMJHL, so it was unreal.
How is it to be a teammate with Peltier again?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, there was during the tournament, I didn't want a lot of things just going through my head just because we're at a tournament and we have to stay focused on our task. But after I got the call and that they told me that I'm going to Val-d'Or, I told Pelts, and he was excited and I was excited as well. So it's good to be back with him.
Yeah, I guess it is. Such a nice guy and such a funny guy too. Also, Justin, JD Daigneault and Bobby Smith have obviously a lot of experience. They actually played the World Junior. How did they help you leading to the tournament?
Yeah, I mean, I think I received some texts from them, that kind of thing, wishing me luck. Just kind of their experience with it, and just kind of told me to go and play my game, and not try to be anything I'm not.
Dawson, you played against Niesev. Was it for the semis? I think. Did you talk to each other before the game? Was there any bet on the game?
Yeah, I was talking to him. Obviously being a teammate with him last year, and we're always keeping in contact through on our phones, and it's obviously a pretty unique situation being able to play against your teammate in the World Junior. So I got to play with him in a pre-tournament game, and I got to play against him in the semi. So it was obviously a different feeling team over there, but we both of us really wanted to win to make sure we got that extra edge and help our country out. So it was a cool experience playing against him, and I also got to play against one of my new teammates, Catholic, with Slovakia. So I haven't met him yet. He's in Chicoutimi also quarantining. So when we get out there, I'm sure it'll be a cool experience just to talk to him about all of his experience at the World Juniors and basically just get to start to know each other so we can get started after the quarantine period is over.
Great. Let's come back on the tournament a little bit. Maybe start with Dawson on this one. How was it not having your families and friends around? Because it's such an important event, and you lived it last year. So did you miss them a lot?
Yep. Well, playing you really appreciate all your supporters and your fans. So not having your family there, they're a big part of why we're where we are today, and they support us and helped us get here to where we are, playing in the World Juniors and helping us out in our career. So I would have loved for them to be able to enjoy this experience with me again, but for the safety of everyone else, it's important, and we're just grateful to make sure the tournament was getting the opportunity to go ahead. But I think it really puts into perspective playing the start of the season with no fans, the World Juniors with no fans. The energy and the excitement on the bench and during the game is all still there, but you appreciate the fans and the supporters so much. Just realizing how much fun it is to play with all the emotions and the fans just interaction with during the game. So it would have been obviously unbelievable to have my family there this year again, but they obviously got to experience it on in live last year on Ostrava, and this year on the TV with all of the I guess the broadcasting and listening to what everyone's saying. So it was a pretty unique situation for all of us.
Jordan, we were talking about that goal earlier. How great would have been to have your family and friends in the stands to see that goal?
Yeah, it would have been amazing. I think Merce touched on it really well with our families just supporting through everything, and with them being there, it would have been amazing. But with the circumstances that we had and with COVID protocols, it was unfortunate. But obviously, all of our families and all of our friends were watching it on TV, supporting us. So, it was unfortunate that they weren't there, but obviously they have your back and they've been supporting you throughout your whole life and even during the tournament. So it was an unreal experience.
Justin, you had the chance this year to play it in front of some fans. How was it to play in front of nobody in a silent arena?
Yeah, it was different. Yeah, I mean, really the first time I played without fans, and since I was a little kid, probably it was definitely a different atmosphere. I think, although yeah, I think once you get out there and you're playing in the games, you're so focused on the game and what the task is that you almost forget there's no fans there. And yeah, I think both the guys touched on it really well. It would have been really nice to have fans, but obviously with the world we're living in right now, it wasn't possible. And yeah, just grateful we were able to still play and that the bubble was a success and the tournament was able to be played safely.
When you are in the game, I mean, your focus and everything, do you feel the difference on the ice? Like, do you feel that there's no crowd, or it's more on the bench when did you feel that there's no crowd? Maybe Justin?
Yeah, I feel like probably more on the bench is when you notice it more, maybe in the big moments. But yeah, I think there's so much going on when you're on the ice, and you're so engaged in the play that you don't really notice it as much.
Is that the same for you, Dawson and Jordan? Maybe Jordan, do you feel it when you're on the ice that there's nobody in the crowd?
To be honest, like what JB said, like when you're so focused, you don't really pay attention to the fans or anything outside of the rink. So, but for us, we just wanted to create momentum from the bench and the stuff we do on the ice, because before we can kind of create momentum from the fans and how loud they are, but with no fans during the tournament, we just wanted to be loud on the bench and kind of support everyone on the bench and kind of just being positive and just being loud. So I don't think it was that big of a difference. Plus they kind of had like a fan noise during the tournament, so that was pretty cool.
Did you hear it? Maybe Dawson, the fan noise in the arena. Were you aware of it?
I think I remember it from like the first like game or two, and then like after it kind of I don't know. I haven't really heard it too much after. I think like as Benny was saying, there was so much when you're focused on the game, you're so determined just about in the moment and creating momentum on the bench and through every play and shift. So I think at the start, I recognized it because I was like, there's no fans, and we're hearing like these like the speakers going off with fan noise in it, and then it kind of just went away after the next couple of games. I never really picked up on it anymore.
Couple more questions for you guys. Jordan, there was a lot of Kings prospect at this tournament. Did you have the chance to meet some of them and talk more with teammate and adversaries?
Yeah, to be honest, like it was kind of difficult to kind of communicate with other players, just with kind of staying away from other teams with safety protocols. So it was hard, but obviously I saw them last year during the main camp and during the development camp. So I knew them before, but at this tournament, I didn't really had the time to kind of have a conversations with them.
How was the relationship with Quinton Byfield?
It was my first time meeting him during the selection camp. So it was just pretty cool to see him on and off the ice. Obviously on the ice, he's a great player. He's big. He can make plays. He can score. So it was pretty exciting just because he's on LA and he's gonna have a great career there. So it was pretty cool seeing him, and obviously being around him during the tournament, and seeing him play during the games. So he's a great player, and yeah, it was pretty cool.
Justin, Kirby Dak was, despite the injuries, remained the captain of the team. How did he play his role, even though he was not on the ice with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think first of all, the fact that I think it was an easy decision to keep him as the captain of our team. He was a leader right from day one at camp, and very respected in the locker room. And he actually went to Chicago after the injury happened. But yeah, he was sending us texts in our group chat every day, and staying in contact with us and wishing us luck. So yeah, he was one of our biggest supporters, even though he wasn't with us at the tournament anymore.
Talking about being captain, you are the captain of the Halifax Mooseheads. Do you think this tournament will help you grow as a captain?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, on teams like this, you pretty much have captains from all over the CHL, and tons of great leaders from all over the country. So yeah, I think getting the chance to play with them and be around all these guys for 50 something days, you definitely learn some new things, and there's a lot to take in from all the great leaders in that dressing room.
Great. Guys, a couple rapid fire. Dawson, what was the best moment of the tournament for you?
Best moment. It's hard to put a pinpoint on it. Like last year was pretty straightforward. I was winning, but this year it's I think just not having the outcome we wanted. It's kind of the full experience wise of living the life in a bubble for so many days with all the same guys. So the full experience is kind of what I would say.
Any specific moment for you, Justin? Maybe.
Maybe putting the Hockey Canada jersey on for the first time. Even for that pre-tournament game against Russia, it's pretty special. We went through that long camp, which was almost a full month, and then all the quarantine, everything like that, and then finally, really being a part of that team and pulling that sweater on over your shoulders and over your head. It's a really special feeling.
Yeah, you're a Team Canada player for the rest of your life. And Jordan, how about you? Is that a goal?
I think that will be one of the probably for me. I think it's kind of what Mercer said, just being there in general, kind of enjoying the moment and kind of being in the moment during that time, because you're not going to experience the World Juniors again. So for me, it was that, and obviously it was me scoring the goal. That was pretty cool too.
I want to thank you guys for your time and your availabilities, and just want to remember you that I'm pretty sure you're gonna look back at this tournament in a couple of years and be proud of it, and you should be. Thank you for everything, guys, and good luck for the remainder of the season.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it.